I was born and I wanted an Audible sponsorship. I woke up and I said, Audible? I woke up and I said, Audible? Hello, my shawty baes. Hello, my besties. The long-awaited video. We have been waiting for this one. We have been asking for this one, and it is finally time. Now, let me just tell you, this might be a part one. This might be a part one out of 100. That's how many audiobooks I listen to, okay? If you can't tell by the title, we're gonna be talking about my favorite audiobooks. I am an audiobook girly through and through. I tell you guys that all the time. I love me a good audiobook, okay? You can listen to it while you're running errands, while you're driving, while you're doing laundry, while you're cooking, while you're just laying, while you're showering. It's literally magnificent. You never have to be alone with your thoughts, which might just be a me problem, but that's neither here nor there. That's not what we're here to discuss today, okay? I have therapy next week. Anyway, I am finally doing this video, and I'm literally gonna cry just saying this, but this video is sponsored by Audible. Guys, I've been wanting an Audible sponsorship for as long as I could breathe. I literally came out of my mom. I was born and I wanted an Audible sponsorship. I woke up and I said, Audible? I woke up and I said, Audible? And it is finally time, and I literally could cry telling you guys this because I've been receiving Audible for years, religiously, and I love them so much, and this video is sponsored by them. So before I start talking about my favorite audiobooks, let me just tell you why I love Audible, okay? Every single month, I get a credit on Audible because I am part of the membership. But not only that, you can buy more credits, which of course I do. Of course I do. Let's be honest. Sue me, okay? You can go buy 3 credits. You can go buy 5 credits. I usually go for the 5. But anyway, and you can listen to quite literally any book. You can listen to nonfiction. You can listen to fantasy. You can listen to romance. You can listen to thrillers. You can listen to... what other genres are there out there? Historical romances, sure. Educational. You can listen to self-help books. I don't know why you do that, but you can. The option is there, okay? They've got so many titles. They've got amazing narrators. It literally is just on your phone, a little app that you can just click and listen to your audiobook as you go along about your day, okay? I could not recommend Audible more. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video. I'm going to be talking to you guys about my favorite audiobooks, and I'm going to leave a link in the description so you guys can click and sign up for Audible. So I tried to include a little bit of everything in this video. I picked 15 of some of my favorite audiobooks, and I tried to do romance, thrillers, YA, fantasy, so that you guys have a variety of things. But like I said, this video is probably gonna be several parts because I really listen to audiobooks all the time. If you guys see my wrap-ups, I talk to you guys about the books I read on Kindle, the books I read on paperback, and the books that I listen to. And I usually would say I do, like, let's say I do 10 books a month or 20 books a month, whatever. Half of those will be audiobooks and the other half will be Kindle books or physical books, whatever. So I think audiobooks are just such a great way to consume a story. And please, before I tell you my favorites, let me just give a PSA. Wait, this was not on. Did you guys notice that the light wasn't on? Anyway, PSA, I turned the light on now. It's not a video of mine without something going wrong. Moving on, PSA. If you ever tell somebody, I listened to the audiobook, and they tell you that doesn't count as reading, immediately block them from your life. Block them in real life. Literally look at them and be blocked. Never talk to them again. Because what the f is wrong with you if you don't think audiobooks count as reading? First of all, anything counts as reading. Listen to me, whether you read the physical book, whether you read the Kindle book, whether you listened to the audiobook, whether, you know, someone narrated it to you in real life, someone read it to you. Regardless, you consumed the story of the book. You consumed the author's work, which is the entire point, okay? If we're gonna sit here and we're gonna talk about, well, you listened, not read it. Okay, yeah, the words are different. I didn't know we were here discussing grammar. I feel like the only people that really sit there and argue about audiobooks not being real books are people that actually don't even like to read in the first place. So do not pay them any mind, okay? Audiobooks count just as much as any other ways of reading a book. Also, remember that a lot of people need audiobooks. A lot of people can't concentrate when they read a physical book. I know a lot of people who have dyslexia, and that helps to listen to the book while they're reading the book, whether they just do it because they enjoy it or they do it because they have to. It still counts as reading. So now that we got that out of the way, this subject just really grinds my gears, as you can see. My gears are done being grinded. We're gonna start off probably with my #1 audiobook of all time. This is the audiobook that I recommend to anyone that wants to start listening to books because it is phenomenal. It is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think this may have been one of the first audiobooks I ever got into, okay? Because I remember I really wanted to read Daisy Jones and the Six, but when I opened it, it looked like interview format and the writing was kind of confusing to me. Like I was like, oh, this is too much going on, too many characters. I don't really know how I'm gonna do this. And then I went and played like a little sample and I saw that the audiobook had so many different people and it felt like a movie inside my head. So I said, immediately I must listen to this, okay? Daisy Jones and the Six follows the story of Daisy Jones, yeah, nothing gets past me, and the Six, okay? They're a band, I wanna say in the 70s or the 60s, one of those decades, okay? They're a band, and it is the story of how the band came together, and it is the story of how the band broke up. And you go through the whole story with a bunch of different characters in said band. The reason why the audiobook is so special is because everyone narrates their own part, okay? So this is like an interview format. So imagine you're doing an interview with Chris Evans. I don't know why I thought of Chris Evans. I should have thought of a band because Chris Evans is just one person. Okay, wait. I don't know any bands besides One Direction. What are bands? BTS, one of my favorites. Whatever. Imagine you're doing an interview with several different people, okay? And you're asking questions and each person is answering said question. Each person has their own voice. Each person has their own way of speaking. Each person has their own personality, okay? And that's exactly what comes across in this audiobook. You have this interview story of how this band came to be and how this band broke up, and it is phenomenal. I loved every character. I loved listening to their voices, listening to their point of views and their train of thoughts. This audiobook is amazing. It made me cry. It literally is one of my 5-star reads. I could not recommend it more. And if you're gonna read Daisy Jones and the Six, have it be the audiobook. Trust me, trust me, trust me. Trust me just always in general, but especially with this. Completely different vibe. Let's go for a little thriller horror kind of vibe. No Exit by Taylor Adams. This was my first Taylor Adams book and I did listen to it. Also, oh my goodness, you guys informed me that Taylor Adams is a man. Taylor Adams is a man, I think, yo. It is a man. Look at that. That is a man. A white man!
A white man? No!
I was literally talking about Taylor Adams and I was like, yeah, she this, she that. And somebody commented and they were like, I think it's a he. And I was like, oh, should have double checked. Didn't. That's what happens when you don't do your research, kids. Learn from me. Anyway, No Exit by Taylor Adams, the man. This is a thriller, and listening to this thriller was unlike anything I've ever felt before. Let me explain. It felt like I was there with these characters going through these things. It follows this girl, okay? She's going home from college to visit her mom who's very, very sick. And on her way there, there's a snowstorm, really, really bad. And she stops at one of those, what are those things called where you stop on the side to like pee and get gas, and not a gas station, no. Where you stop and you get snacks. There's those little vending machines and there's like a bathroom and there's a little store. You know what I'm talking about? What are those things called? The side, the edge, the side street. What is it called? What is it called? Hold on. Rest area! She stops at a rest area. It took me a while, but I got here, okay? She stops at a rest area, and there are several people in said rest area, inside. Several cars parked outside, okay? Because like I said, snowstorm. She sees inside one of the cars, and there's a little girl trapped in a cage. She has to go in to said rest stop and figure out which one of the people there has this little girl in this cage, and how can she get her out with no service, with no help, with nothing. Oh my God. Oh my God, this book had me on edge the entire time. I never watched the movie. People said that the movie was really bad. I did not partake because, don't get me started, sometimes movie adaptations are, and then sometimes they're not so good. And I feel like this may be one of those times, okay? So I didn't watch the movie, but I can vouch for the audiobook. If you're looking for a thriller that'll just leave you on edge, this is the one. Now, y'all, of course I gotta give you some spicy dark recs. Like, come on. It wouldn't be me without some spicy, fun recs. First up, I'm gonna tell you about Sinner by Sierra Simone. This, solely because of Jacob Morgan. Jacob Morgan, the narrator, guys, not to be confused with Joseph Morgan. I've done this before. I've learned from my mistakes. Jacob Morgan, not Joseph Morgan. That's Klaus Michelson. Anyway, Jacob Morgan is probably one of my favorite narrators of all time. I have no idea what this man looks like. I don't know anything about this man, but his voice in my ear holes, yes. Anything he narrates, I'll listen to it. I don't care. Grocery list? Sure. Car payments? Sure. You want to narrate me the script of the B movie? Sure, go ahead. Anyway, Sinner by Sierra Simone. It follows a couple, as most romance books do, okay? And she's about to become a nun. And before she becomes a nun, she says, I want to just live my life to the fullest. I've never lived. I must live before I become a nun. Who better than my brother's older best friend than to help... Hello? Who better than my brother's best friend who's older? No. Who better than my brother's older best friend to help me navigate the life of sex and lust than what? Who better to help me than fucking Sean Bell, who happens to be my brother's best friend? There you go, okay? Jacob Morgan narrates Sean Bell, and I have no words besides just listen to it. Just listen to it. There is no better way to consume this book than on audio. Thank me later. Now, of course, I have to give you some fantasy, Rex. You know, I have to. I listened to this book. Oh my goodness me. Before I even started making book content, I listened to this book. That's how long ago it was. I wonder when it came out, because I swear it was like right at the beginning of time. And I swear the third one's not even out yet. But the first one came out in 2020. Okay, it's literally not even that long. I started making book content in 2021. Okay, so I wasn't wrong. I did listen to it before book content, but it was just a year before. I'm dramatic. It's what I do. Anyway, Legendborn. The narrator for this, let me just, Jonice Abbott Pratt, okay? Jonice Abbott Pratt. Jonice Abbott Pratt. Realize how I'm saying her name several times? It's for you to get it in your head because it's that important, because she fucking devoured. No, she didn't eat. She didn't casually do the damn thing. She didn't clock into work. No. Rent was due, and she devoured, okay? I love this woman's voice. I love the way she narrated Legendborn. And I remember that when I listened to this, it was back when I had a hard time with fantasy. So I didn't think that I could sit and really concentrate on a paperback. And that is why I got this book on Audible. I regret nothing. Legendborn is such a great YA fantasy. The second book came out recently, I think. I didn't listen to the second or the third one yet. I just know that I absolutely devoured the first one. I think I rated like 4.75 or something like that. I don't even know if the last book's out. Anyway, it follows this girl, Bree, and her mom passes away and she goes to a school, university, to kind of get away from everything. And while she's there, she witnesses como se dice, a murder, but a murder of the fantasy variety, which makes it better. You know, is it really murder if it was done in a fantasy way? Like, not really. Like, I guess it is, but nothing that I'm saying is coming out right. The point is, she witnesses someone kill a monster, okay, as she is in this school. And that leads her to the Legendborn, which are essentially people that defeat monsters. And she starts to learn all about her life and her heritage and everything that has to do with magic and fantasy. And there's a little love triangle in there. It has everything that a YA romance YA romance fantasy is supposed to have. I remember I absolutely loved this. The only reason why I didn't continue is because the second one hadn't come out yet when I listened to it. So I was like, now I gotta wait. And then by the time the second one came out, I don't think the third one had come out. And I kind of just wanted to all be done before I go back and redo the whole damn thing. But I loved this audiobook. It's getting dark outside, y'all. Why did I decide to film this as the sun was going down? At least my little light is keeping us afloat. Let's hope that it continues to do so. Anyway, next up, we've got a recent addition in my favorite audiobooks, and it was so good that it belongs in this list, okay? It's Lights Out by Navisa Allen. I was told to listen to this book. As soon as I told everyone that I wanted to read this book and that I was obsessed like with the idea of it, that it was a dark stalker romance, but also make it rom-com kind of vibe, everyone said, listen to it. Don't paperback read it, listen to it. And oh, now I am here to tell you the same thing. I am here to tell you the same thing. This audiobook had me on the floor. It is not often that I laugh. Well, no, it is very often. It's not often that I sit by myself laughing at a book, but this book did the damn thing, okay? Let me just explain to you the premise of this. So this book follows Josh and Allie, and it is to a POV, and Allie is a nurse, okay, in the ER, and she has a little hidden kink. She is obsessed with masked men online. You know those guys who like put on, let's say, ghost face mask and they make spicy content online? She's obsessed with that, okay? She eats that up. She's one of us for real. Anyway, there's this one guy that she loves the absolute most. She loves his content, okay? And that guy is Josh. And when Josh finds out that Allie likes his content, he decides, well, now I must stalk her. That is the best way I can explain this book. But don't get me wrong, he's such a sweet stalker. Like he's so considerate. You know what I mean? Like he sees she had a bad shift and he shows up to her house or to her car. Like, if stalker, why sweet? Why thoughtful? Why adorable? Okay? And he's also hilarious. Hilarious. Like, this book is kind of like putting The Cat and Mouse Duet with Butcher and Blackbird together because it is dark, but not even that dark. It's fun. It's funny. The banter is great. The romance is great. The spice is great. Their dynamic is amazing. Like, trust me, if you like Butcher and Blackbird, I really think you're going to like this. And even if you don't like Butcher and Blackbird, I think if you're looking for something along those same lines, but even better, lights out. Lights out. There's literally this part where this man is like trying to muffle his voice so she doesn't recognize it. And he goes, "I'm Batman." I can't explain it. Wait, let me show you a little glimpse of this audiobook. Hold on. I got you. Ready?
That was the absolute last thing I wanted. How did I fix this? I was half tempted to send her a DM explaining myself, but how would that work? Hey, Allie, it's me, the man who broke into your house. I was just watching you through the camera I hid in your room, and I wanted to let you know that you are correct. I am not, in fact, a serial killer. Jesus Christ.
Come on, tell me that's not hilarious. You're gonna die laughing at this book, but you're also gonna have a great time just with the romance and with the banter. And there's a second one coming out too about other characters that you're gonna meet in this book. So, need I say more? And this is narrated by Jacob Morgan. It is, and it is narrated by who else? Jacob Morgan and Elena Wolf. I really liked her narration. I don't think I've ever listened to another book narrated by her, but I really enjoyed it. Another new edition is Little Stranger by Lee Rivers. Now, this book may scare you when you look at the trigger warnings, but do not let that stop you from reading it because listen to me, it is very fucking good. The audiobook absolutely ate. My mom read the Kindle version and she was like, "Oh, let me put it on your TBR. I'm obsessed with it, whatever." And everyone told me the audiobook was incredible. And I listened to you guys, as always, because you're my best friends. Why would you lie to me? Why would you steer me wrong? You know? And you did. You didn't steer me wrong because this audiobook is phenomenal, okay? You have these foster siblings. They grow up together. Yes, they grow up together. They're not blood related, but they grow up together, okay? So you have Malachi and Olivia, and they get adopted. Well, she gets adopted first, and then he gets adopted by the same parents. And so they become foster siblings, and they grow up together. And he has always loved her. And that's kind of the premise of this book. I don't want to tell you too much because I feel like the mystery of it all is kind of the fun part. Listen. Is this book absolutely unhinged? Yes. Is it insane? Yes. Are there certain scenes where you're going to be like, what the actual fuck? Yes. However, it is also very soft and sweet and cute. Argue with a wall. Malachi Weiss is like, he's so soft. He's so baby girl. I can't explain. And the audiobook is done so well, okay? Like the voice actors make the story feel like it came to life. Like when the characters are sad or crying, you can feel it in these actors' voice. And that just made the whole experience for me so much better. So if you're going to read Little Stranger, listen to it. Please search up your trigger warnings. Now, I'm gonna talk about this one. And you guys, if you've been here for a while, you're gonna be like, yeah, Larry, we get it. You love this fucking book. I know, but it has to be said. Okay, it needs to be said. It's Got a Fury by Rena Kent. Let me explain. This follows Bran and Nikolai, and it is part of the Legacy of God series, and it is my favorite book in the Legacy of God series, and it is an MM. It is boy obsessed. It is opposites attract. It is everything you could ever need in a book and more, okay? Now, I will say, I've recommended that this series is interconnected standalones, okay? You can read just this if you want to. However, I will say, one of my friends read just this because I told her she didn't need the rest, and then she didn't really like it because she felt like it was just too much obsession right away. But you understand that obsession if you read the other books. So, with that being said, I feel like you should probably listen to the other ones and then also listen to this one. Anyway, MM, Nikolai and Bran, the reason why I'm showing the audiobook is because in one night, I read this book on my Kindle and then I listened to the book literally immediately after because I was that obsessed. And let me tell you, the audiobook, oh my God, it is a duet narration. Let me explain what that means. So sometimes you'll have a book that is narrated by two people. So it is narrated by a girl and a guy, right? And they'll each read their own POV. So if it's like, let's say Shane is the POV, the guy that's playing Shane will read his POV. And even if there's a line from Margaret, let's say it's Margaret, even if there's a line from Margaret, he'll still read that, but he'll read it in like a Margaret voice. So he'll be like,
She told me.
No, leave me alone.
He'll say it like that, you know? And then if Margaret is narrating in her POV and Shane speaks in her POV, she'll be like, and then Shane told me, no, leave me alone. And they'll like adapt their voices. Okay, stay with me. I'm gonna make sense. Duet narration, on the other hand, means that they will narrate their parts no matter whose POV it's on, okay? So if they have a quote in each other's POV, that voice actor will still be the one to read it. So it kind of just makes it feel more realistic. I love duet narration so much. I know it's more expensive to make, so it's understandable that not all authors do it. But you know, Rena Kent has got money to spare because we gave it to her. So here it is, God of Fury, it's duet narration, and it is fantastic. And Teddy Hamilton is one of the narrators. And Teddy Hamilton is another one of my favorite voice actors. So there you go. Now I want to give you some YA books that you can listen to, okay? A really cute, fluffy, fun one is The Summer I Turned Pretty by Jenny Han. I listened to this before the show came out, okay? So the show was coming out and I was scrambling. Because I was like, I want to watch this show so bad, but I need to read the book first. And I am past the age, okay? I am past middle school age. So I was like, I'm not really sure if I'm gonna like The Summer I Turned Pretty. It looks very childish. No, that shit's good. That is good whether you are 12 or whether you are 45. It is good, okay? It follows Belly and she goes every summer to this summer beach house. And there's two brothers, Conrad and Jeremiah. And she grew up with them. And of course, she's caught between their Jeremiah. Who is she gonna choose? What team are you in? I'm Team Conrad. Book, show, real life, fiction life, whatever you want to say. I'm Team Conrad till I die, okay? Point is, I listened to this book before I watched the show. And because I listened to it right before the show came out, the actors of the show are the ones narrating this book, okay? I feel like if you probably listened to this like years ago, it wasn't those same voice actors, but because the show came out now, it is the actors of the show that narrate the book. The actors of the show, like the first book is narrated by Lola Tung, so it's just her. The second book is narrated by Lola Tung and Gavin, who plays Jeremiah, because they have both POVs. The third book is narrated by Lola Tung and what's the guy's name? Chris, who plays Conrad. So how fun is that? You get to kind of see the show in more detailed ways. Like anything they cut out from the show, you get to listen to it in this audiobook. So I would highly recommend The Summer I Turned Pretty till the day I die. I really, really fucking love it. I love the show. I love the book. I love Jenny Han. I love Lola Tung. I just love it. Another YA one, but make it thriller instead, is A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I remember listening to this in an entire road trip. Like, I think I was going from Florida to New York, something like that. I don't remember where I was going, but I listened to all three books in that span of that car ride because I was that obsessed. I couldn't stop. It follows Pip, and she is a high school student who decides she wants to solve a cold case murder in her town. Ooh, and solve it she does. Cops are useless, but Pip is forever. Let's pretend I didn't say that. There's also a little romance sideline story there with Pip and this guy Ravi who starts helping her solve this case. Ravi? Am I saying that right? Ravi. I haven't watched the show yet. I know there's a show. I haven't watched it yet, so can't confirm nor deny that it's good. But I can confirm that the audiobook is incredible. And it is another one of those that each character kind of plays their own thing. Like you have the narrator who plays Pip, and she's the one that does the entire thing. But there's times where she like interviews someone and she does like a phone interview. So you hear a voiceover of somebody talking to her, and you hear with like the telephone effect. So it makes it feel like you are just watching it right in front of you. And then when she is interviewing someone and talking to them, someone else will narrate that part. So it truly just feels like a movie is happening inside your head. And I highly recommend you listen to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Not only because it's good, but the audiobook is just fantastic. Very unlike me, but I'm gonna recommend you a nonfiction book. Listen, I don't like to live in reality. I really don't. I already live here and I already hate it. Okay, so I like to escape far away from here. However, I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I love this book. I love this autobiography. I love this audiobook. I love Jeanette McCurdy. Listen, I didn't know anything Jeanette McCurdy. I didn't know anything about her besides iCarly and Sam. Cat and Sam. Yeah, I loved her on iCarly. If you've watched iCarly, you know Sam. You loved Sam. I know you do. I didn't know anything about the actress at all. But once I saw this audiobook came out, I was like, okay, I kind of want to know like the secrets of Nickelodeon and like the insides and everything that went on. And with a title like that, you're really intrigued, right? Oh my God. Her life as like a childhood star is absolutely insane, and seeing everything and the way she explains it, it is so sad, heartbreaking, but there's also parts where you laugh and there's parts where you want to cry. There's so many different sides to this audiobook, and she is the one who narrates it. So she tells her own story, and there's parts in this audiobook where she tears up, there's part where she laughs, and you just feel the entire story through her. So if there's any autobiography that I would recommend, it would be this one. I really want to get into the one that Emily Gilmore, the actress who does Emily Gilmore, did. I think it's like a recent one. And there's also one where Haley James Scott from One Tree Hill did as well. So I want to do those next. But for now, I'm going to recommend this one. Yes. If there's any audiobook, autobiography. If there's any autobiography, I would recommend it's this one. Now, this is one of my favorite series of all time. It is, in fact, the Darkverse series by Brunix. I'm putting The Predator here because it is the first book. You do have to read the series in order. You cannot just pick up a random one. It's not interconnected standalones, okay? This is a dark mafia romance. You have the first 2 books about the same character, then the next one is about a different one, next one's about a different one, and you kind of follow this mafia organization, different characters intertwining kind of thing. There's a mystery that goes around it. It's a whole thing. It is incredible. However, I would have never picked up this book if it wasn't for the audio, because it is in third person. I know a lot of people can do third person. I am learning. I'm getting better, I will say. Like I read a book the other day on Kindle and it was in third person. And I remember I didn't really even notice. What was it? Oh, but I have the memory of a peanut. I do not remember what it was. But it was a book and it was in third person. Can confirm, okay? But back when I listened to Darkverse, I have a whole vlog doing the whole thing. I was trying to read it so bad on my paperback and I couldn't, okay? So I thought, let me just get the audiobook. So I did one of those things where you listen to the audiobook and read the physical book at the same time, which is called immersive reading. And it is life-changing. Life-changing. Immersive reading for my girlies who can't concentrate, for my girlies who really just want to fully get themselves into a story, especially with fantasy or with third-person books, anything like that. Immersive reading is everything. You listen to the book and you read the book at the same time, or you just listen to the book, whatever. It is incredible, incredible, incredible. That's enough on immersive reading. Anyway, wait, no, you can't just listen to the book or else that's not immersive reading. You guys got what I was trying to say. Immersive reading is when you listen and read at the same time. Moving on. I picked up the audiobook because I thought I can't do this third person POV shit. I cannot do this. I will never be able to read this book. And it became one of my favorite series. It became one of my favorite series. I love the Darkverse series so much. I love these characters. I love the plots. I love the dark romance, but like not too dark. Like I feel like if you're just dipping your toe into dark romance, this is the perfect start. If you want a fun mafia romance, but also with mysteries intertwined and with different characters that are all going to connect, please. And the last book is coming out soon and it's going to be like an epilogue for every couple. So here's your chance. Do it now. Be like Nike and just do it. No. The next 2 I'm going to talk about are 2 books that are romance, but so much more than that. These 2 have so many deeper topics in them that it just will make you cry. It will make you feel for the characters. It will make you obsessed. Trust me, the first one is Real by Kennedy Ryan. First of all, anything Kennedy Ryan writes, I will be reading it. I will. I love that woman more than I love myself. That is exaggerative, but it is true. I love many things more than I love myself, though, because I really just don't love myself all that much. Anyway, Real by Kennedy Ryan. You must listen to this. Listen, okay? It follows a Hollywood actor and then a very famous Hollywood director, and he cast her to be in this Renaissance movie. It is Neva and it is canon, and he is like a very famous Hollywood director, and she's a, starting actress kind of thing, and she becomes the main character in this movie of theirs, okay? And it is a little romance. It is a little romance between them. And oh my God, I was giggling, kicking my feet the entire time. But also the characters are so much deeper than you would expect. Kennedy Ryan has an amazing way of giving you a romance story, but also giving you so much more than that. So if you've never read Kennedy Ryan before, could not recommend more, okay? The reason why I'm telling you to listen to this one is because there's music in it and they sing. They sing, okay? So not like Alex in Twisted Love. Not like that. Don't get it twisted. They sing well. They sing well and they sing great and they sing nicely and not cringy at all, okay? It is like songs within the book, and the voice actors in this will sing it for you, and there's music in the background, and you just feel like you are a part of this amazing, amazing story and this amazing music and art and everything put together. I love this audiobook. Please, please, please listen to Real and show some love to Kennedy Ryan always. always. The next one that is along the same lines of deeper connection stories, but also romance, is the Mixtape by Brittany Cherry. Brittany Cherry is another one that I'll never shut the fuck up about. I love this woman. I love this woman so much. Her writing is phenomenal. And this was the very first book that I read by her, I'm pretty sure. Now I've read plenty, okay? But this one was the first one. So it just kind of holds a special place in my heart. You have this man, Oliver, and he is a twin. And his twin sadly passes away. So now he is not doing well in life, okay? And he stumbles upon Emery? It's Emery? Or is it Emmy? Hold on. Emery! Oh my god, I was right. I am incredible. I am incredible. Anyway, he stumbles upon Emery and they connect in a way because both of them have gone through a lot in their lives. She's a single mom. He kind of sort of gets her fired from her job, so he hires her as his personal chef. But like I said, he's not doing well because his twin brother passed away. So there's a lot of grief. There's a lot of sadness. There's a lot of finding yourself in this book. It was about them finding themselves and each other together. It was absolutely phenomenal. There's also music involved in this one, which is why I'm putting it along the same lines as Real, because both of them not only have the book as the art and the love, but also music as the art, which is one of my favorite things in the world. So the Mixtape, if you haven't read Brittany Cherry, then I fear we may no longer speak. Go do it now before we can speak again. Thank you. Did you do it? Okay, we can talk now. The very last book I'm going to include in this video is the ACOTAR dramatized version. Listen. There's the regular ACOTAR listening version, okay? And then there's the dramatized. I read ACOTAR with you guys, I think in January, okay? And I think like after I finished that, I was still very much in the mindset and I heard about this dramatized audio and I was like, what is that? Oh my gosh, I must partake. I don't wanna be left out, FOMO. So I listened to it. Dramatized audio changed my life, okay? So it is essentially the audiobook, but there are background noises. So there's like wind and there's music and there's leaves, like whistling. Do leaves whistle? Leaves dwindling. What do leaves do? Fall. Die. Just like humans. Okay. Anyway, let me show you the example. Hold on. Let me show it to you.
Every step toward the line of trees was too swift, too light, too soon carrying me to whatever torment and misery awaited. I didn't dare look back at the cottage.
Do you see?
Mercifully, I was soon astride a white mare, riding with Lucian through the spring.
Do you see what I'm talking about? There's like background noises, there's sound effects. That's what I'm trying to say. Sound effects, music, and it just makes the audio that much better. It really, really feels like a movie. So if you want to feel like you're Feyre, if you want to feel like you are in ACOTAR, please listen to this. Even if you've read the books before, I would still tell you to listen to this because that's what I did and I regret nothing. That is all my beautiful besties. Like I told you before, there probably will be several parts to this video and let's hope Audible keeps sponsoring me because I love them so much, so much. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. You have no idea how much I love you guys and how much I use you like religiously. So this is everything to me. It's like a dream come true. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you Audible for sponsoring. Don't forget to click the link in my description because you have to support me so that it does well, so that they keep sponsoring me. Thank you. Anyway, I love you. These are just 15 of my favorites and I tried to include a little bit of everything for you guys. If you guys want a part 2, let me know. Go listen to your audiobooks and don't forget what I said in the beginning. It counts as reading and anybody that thinks it doesn't, I love you.